Hey, it's Kevin Toffel with GigaOhm. I've got the original Motorola Atrix here from AT&T. This phone came out about a year and a half ago. It was pretty nice when it came out, but nowadays, phones are looking a little bit better and more powerful. We've got the Atrix HD. Literally, this just arrived a few minutes ago. I've barely taken a look at it. I'll have a full review, but I wanted to show you what we got inside the box and what else this came with, and talk about some of the features of the Atrix HD. We'll take it out of the box here, and if you've ever seen the Motorola Razr, you'll notice it kind of has the same form factor. It's got that bump out back there for the camera. I'm still not a fan of that, but they really pack a lot of the ports and such at the top there. You've got your camera, speaker, and ports up here. So I can sort of understand that, and it kind of, you can tell which end is up, I guess. Makes it a little bit easier if the phone's in your pocket. We'll turn this on. It's got a really nice 4.5-inch HD display, 1280 by 800, I believe. Super nice. I'm sorry, it's 720. Just realized that. 1280 by 720, same as my Galaxy Nexus, which I have right here, and you can see they're pretty much the same size, give or take. We don't have the bump out on the Nexus, but same as the Galaxy S3. Again, thinness-wise and width-wise, all pretty comparable, So we've also got, let me unlock the phone here, we've got this Qualcomm dual-core 1.5 gigahertz processor in there. I don't think I'd be too upset about that if you're thinking I gotta have quad-core or this or that. Quite honestly, the new Snapdragon platform is pretty solid. It's powering a lot of phones, particularly these LTE phones, because Qualcomm has LTE radio integration with their silicon system on a chip. So it's all on one piece of silicon. So let's see, this is Android 4.0, I noticed already. A couple accessories that came with it. Where are they here? Oh, we've got a little car dock here that I don't know if I'll put on in the car. But I also like, and I don't know how much this costs, but I like this other dock. And you can see right here that it has ports, the mini HDMI and micro USB, which coincide with the same ports on the phone here at the top. I will put this right in here. Note this is not powered on right now, but it doesn't matter because as soon as the phone is plugged in, it immediately notices that it's in dock mode and it says, you know, how do you want to use this? Options are Office for dock calling, Bedside, which is a full-featured alarm clock and music, charge only, and others, press to show download dock applications. So you can have different docks, which is kind of handy. I kind of like that. So let me just go to the bedside one, and yep, we get our typical clock there, and then we can play music. Yep, we've got a play icon right there. On the back side of the dock is the same ports going in, the HDMI and USB, as well as a speaker jack. I noticed there was like a speaker wire, and I wonder if you have to plug that into the headphone jack of the phone back here to make the sound and music come out. I don't know, I'll check that from my review, of course. So let me take this back out. I like the feel of this in my hand. I'll give you a quick tour of the hardware. It's a little bit of soft rubberized plastic around the sides here. Makes it nice to grip. I've already shown you the top of the device, the USB, HDMI. Let's see what else we have. We got the headphone port. I said microphone. I really goofed that one up, didn't I? On the left side of the phone, we've got the power button and the up-down volume rocker. Bottom has nothing. Left side has a little door here, and if I pop that open, I believe that's my SIM card slot and micro SD card slot, which it is. It's all very thin. If you like a thin phone, it's right up your alley, I'd say. Back side, we've got that Kevlar back, as well as the 8-megapixel camera there. And we've got one flash or two, just the one. It's kind of hard for me to see on the camera. Just the one, and then the speaker port as well. There's a microphone port, I got it right this time, right here up top, as well as one on the back, so you can do speakerphone calling. Front side, it's, you know, it's all screen. We've got, power it back on and unlock it here, because the buttons in Android 4.0 are software buttons, so we don't have any physical buttons taking up space here. And we've got the speaker, and we've got the front-facing camera up top. So all in all, I kind of like that. The battery is integrated. It's the same battery that the Razr has, I believe, a 1780 milliamp hour battery. We've got a whole bunch of features here that Motorola has customized for Android 4.0. Like they've got their custom widget up top with time, and you can do billing on that for your AT&T account. Battery life, it says 63%. There's weather. Let me go to the apps and let's see if we've got any specific. Well, we've got some AT&T apps, of course. The code scanner, family map, navigator, ready to go. Smart Wi-Fi. Whew, 5 or 6 apps there. Smart actions. This is something unique. I haven't set it up yet on this, but you can configure or automate different actions for the phone based on different times, locations, all sorts of things. So I will play with that as well. Can't really speak to the performance of the phone, but again, the 1.5 dual-core, 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Qualcomm Snapdragon, that's a mouthful, has been performing pretty well in most other phones, so I'm not too worried about that. It looks like we've got the browser. Okay, that's a browser icon, shortcut. Not a shortcut, bear with me. Oh, let's see. Everybody tweaks their Android 4.0 a little bit differently. It's kind of interesting to see, and it sometimes throws me off. So, but anyway, so it should actually have just the Chrome browser here. It may be customized a little bit. It's signing into my account right now, and it's going to my Yahoo. Let me just see in the settings. Yep, this is definitely the Chrome browser. I can tell by the settings in here because we've got the request desktop site option, safe for offline reading. So obviously it's not a custom browser, it's just the Chrome browser, which is outstanding on Android 4.0. Go into the settings real quick. Yeah, you see some more customizations in there in the icons from Motorola. That's no big deal. No more Moto Blur. That's a goner. So if that kept you away from Motorola phones, it's not an issue here. So I see tethering mobile hotspot. I see the data usage icon. Handy if you have a tiered account with AT&T. So that's all good. Yeah, the screen looks really nice. I don't know if we can do kind of like a side view here. Yeah, you can sort of see the viewing angle is really, really nice. I don't really see individual pixels. Is it a pen tile display and all that? I don't know. It doesn't matter to me because I can't tell the difference. But I can tell you that I don't see any individual pixels here. 1280 by 720. It looks really, really good in a 4.5 inch screen. I think that works out to like 330 pixels per inch, which is pretty darn good. So memory-wise, we already said we've got the expansion card, so you can, put in a 32 gig micro SD card. Let's see, what does it come with? It comes with 8 gigabytes of RAM. I remember memory. I remember reading about that. There's a gig of memory, and then there's 8 gigabytes of storage, which I think is kind of on the low side. Not a problem if you've got that micro SD card slot, but these days I personally can't get away with anything less than 16. Even if I offload a bunch to the cloud, I want to have some stuff local to me. So, so that's something to consider. And 1080p video capture and such, image stabilization. So I'll put it through its paces, but I mean that's essentially a quick look at the Motorola Atrix HD for AT&T. Pretty nice so far. Pretty nice so far. It's feels a little wide in my hand, and yet I look at my Nexus. You know what? It isn't any wider at all. So I suspect it's because the Nexus has rounded corners, whereas the edges are slightly rounded, but it's still kind of squarish if you take a look. The entire thing is very rectangular, so it may just be that aspect of it, I don't know. All in all, very nice. I definitely want to play with this dock some more. There is no Motorola lap dock for this, and Motorola has already said, you know what, we don't plan to introduce it for this. It's not something that we want to do because this device's price point is relatively low. It's $99 once this hits AT&T with a 2-year contract, of course. I would have to guess it's probably $599 without a contract, maybe $549. We'll see what AT&T does. But for $99, if you just solely look at the hardware and the software that you're getting, because Android 4.0 is fantastic in my opinion, you're getting a very compelling phone that's going to last you, I would hope, throughout your contract. This is pretty solid. Next year or late this year we might see some new chip advances that will really help make use of more cores and better architecture to make the phones even faster. But I suspect this is going to be plenty fast enough for most people. So again, I'll follow up after I put this through the paces, and we will give it a full review and take a look and see if the Motorola Atrix HD is for you.